part of Project 571, genetically engineered vampire created to destroy evil.
What do you want?
We need your help to kill a vampire.
Malleus Maleficario. It was written by a witch. The first witch. Titania.
That was a little snippet from The Witch's Hammer, the first film I ever solo directed, and it's just been remastered and re-released on Amazon. So if you like witches and vampires, then please do check it out. Anyway, let's get on with this week's episode. Hi, Jim here, and you're listening to the Honest Filmmaker podcast. This week, I'm speaking to filmmaker Alexandru Borchescu. Hi, Alex, how you doing?
Great. Yeah, finally somebody pronounced my family name almost perfectly. So yeah, it's
almost perfectly. A bit of practice, a bit more practice, I'll get it.
Yeah.
So thanks for chatting to me today. Tell me a little bit about how you got into filmmaking.
So how I got into filmmaking. As mentioned on other interviews, I see it more as just a way to express myself. So I was never, even though I went to film school and all that, so explore the traditional way to get into the industry and whatever. I always saw it more as a way to express myself. Like I always put something behind my films that raises some questions. So. Yeah, I don't consider myself. I'm not trying to be this career filmmaker guy, in the industry. So it's all became natural. It's just the art dimension I choose to express myself with. I'm also like a poet and a writer. So it just I don't know. I guess I'm gonna end up this multifaceted artist in a way. So but filmmaking would like it to be my main art, let's say, but it's also the hardest to make. Like you have to wait forever to get the funds if you ever get for a film. So yeah, it's hard to pinpoint exactly.
Yeah. So filmmaking is one of many. So you're more like an artist who concentrates on all these different things. So I was looking at your IMDb, and it looks like you've literally just started your filmmaking with a feature film.
Oh yeah.
Have you shot shorts, or did you just go straight in with a feature?
This is one of my main rules, like do what you feel like doing. And when it comes to shorts, I keep hearing about people who make the shorts, and I consider that, and I tried some in filmmaking school. It's just that I was in that COVID years studying in UK in that COVID year, so yeah, everything was shut down. But shorts don't really attract me because I'm trying to put some pressure on and get my views out there about society and stuff like that. So I need that impact that a short doesn't really have, in film festivals or whatever. And I was lucky enough to have some of the funds to complete the principal photography to shoot the actual scenes. So I just went for a feature film, and but yeah, I wouldn't recommend that to anyone because it's insane. Is to do it all alone independently. It's literally insane. Like you can invest, especially if you're gonna put a decent amount of money into it. It can easily turn into a disaster if you don't work with the right people, if you don't have the right confidence and all that. So yeah, it's a little insane what I've done, but it worked out. So
yeah, no, it's exactly what I did. I came out of uni, went straight into a feature. Didn't make any short films. I've subsequently gone back and dabbled in short films, but yeah, there is a part of us when we left uni, we were like, got to make a feature, I've got to have something to kind of put out there, and for us, it was maybe to sell. So your movie's called Sex Before Church. You just mentioned money there. So did you fund it yourself, or did you do Kickstarter? How did you get the film funded?
Yeah, so I got lucky with the Bitcoin stuff in that period. So I had enough to shoot it. And now we are doing a Kickstarter that because I ran out of money for post-production. So everything is almost already done. I'm waiting for this Kickstarter to see how it goes. We still have over 32 days of campaign more, whatever. And we're at almost a third funded, so not bad. And yeah, this is just to cover the last costs of post-production, like some of the editing and the there's no special effects, just to delete some stuff in the background. So all that, costs money, sound design, and and I keep finding out more and more costs the more I research it. So
yeah, definitely. And how have you found Kickstarter? Any tips for people out there using it? Anything you learned about it?
It's the first thing you learn. So I'm not like this marketing poster, so I just gonna tell what I see and what I experimented. The main rule is you're not gonna get any results if you don't have a big enough community that they will fund your project in the first couple of days, basically. So it's just Kickstarter. The campaign should be just a formality to engage your community, which I didn't have. I am this social media completely illiterate person, so I don't have personal social media. But this person helped me. We built some kind of small campaign. We run some ads. Have an amazing team of volunteers that help me make some materials, like the trailer you can see on the Kickstarter and all the reels. And we got some good traction in the first day. Some random people just saw the campaign and made some pretty sizable donations. That's how we got to 27%. But in the last days, there's like complete silence. So we are kind of seeing the truth now. Like it's hard to keep going when you just don't have the like a community behind it. So again, like you gonna 99, I don't know, over 99, basically 100% of the times you're gonna get disappointed if you don't already have basically the entire community around it that can fund your first goal in the first days, and then you can just worry about stretch goals. Like that's how it works. That's how it goes for the actual campaigns that are successful. So we're trying. You can try to do what we do, which is basically a active campaign. That's why we went for 44 days instead of the 30 ones or the normal size ones when it comes to time, because we're trying to campaign during the campaign. But usually your whole of the campaign should be done before starting. We're trying the other way around because didn't took the time to cultivate a community. So that's my experience so far. But again, for our strategy, it looks pretty good so far.
Cool. And so you've shot your first feature. What did you learn in the actual making of the film?
Well, learning is interesting because it usually comes from mistakes, and that's in this way I got like the most lucky about, because I didn't have to learn from mistakes that in principle, photography, if you have too many mistakes, you're just gonna have also a mistake of a film. Like it's gonna affect the film. So I got lucky in the way that I found all the right professionals to help me avoid any mistakes. Like everybody had full feature film experience except me, basically. So everyone was fully professional, showed up on time, stayed late, all that. So yeah, didn't have was saved in that way, because I'm sure otherwise if 2 or 3 things go wrong when you have like 21 consecutive shooting days, then you start losing days and you start losing money, and it can turn into a horror show. But so I didn't have the opportunity to learn from mistakes. But otherwise, what I learned is just like, this is usually how you learn from mistakes. I don't know. Maybe don't produce it yourself again. I don't think I'm gonna be putting my own money. I mean, I don't see how I'm ever gonna get my hands on like on an amount of money that can support a full feature film. So that's not even an option anymore, anyways. But it's very stressful to be the producer, because I self-funded again, and the director, and as a director and producer, you are literally then involved in every single decision making, because you're the director and the producer. So yeah, those two positions should cover all aspects of the film. So you have to be careful and think about everything. So yeah, it was extremely stressful. So that's but yeah, you don't have an option at that point. So it's not even an advice, like what I'm gonna tell you. Don't produce your own film when you can get a producer, like so that's just it. And otherwise, yeah, I mean, I would say to just work with the right people and do it when you know deep down and okay, this is the right moment. Because I also had problems. I also wish for more post production time, but I just felt that okay, if I'm gonna wait some more, maybe we can find some better locations and all that. But the director of photography might not be available. Maybe the actors are gonna get a job and their schedule. So yeah, it's about that. If you keep waiting, it might not ever happen. So just when you have mostly all the right elements and conditions right, and you you feel it, yeah, just go for it. That's maybe my main advice, because that's where most people get stuck at, like just indecision, like not making that decision. So
Yeah.
so maybe I will go with
Go
that.
with that. So from that I picked up, get a good team around you who know what they're doing. Don't produce your own films. That's if I could avoid having to do that element of the job, I would, because like you say, it is stressful and it really does impact your directing time. And then just go for it. Yeah, completely agree. I've been in a situation myself where you've got to adapt, you've got to change things. It's not going to be this perfect idealized vision. You've got to kind of figure things out, and if you get an opportunity, you've got to go for it, because that might not come up again and everyone might not be available.
It's not really fair, because most of that is it's a matter of money. So obviously people are going to be there if you can actually afford to hire professionals, and the film has potential and they can all get behind it. That's so it's not really fair, because it's also about money. Like no professional is going to work for free. They might give you a huge discount just so they can work in a feature film and not commercial. Like the director of photography, he got paid about a quarter of for filming for 25 days what he would have been paid if he would have done like a political commercial spot for the one of the mayor candidates here in Athens. So yeah, he would have got paid uh, 5 times more for 3 days of shooting that he would have got for our 25 days. But because he wants to make feature films, they give you huge discounts, all these like real filmmaking professionals. So you have that going for you. But yeah, in the end, if you can afford that, yeah, you're gonna have to cut many corners. So then problems might arise. And what was my and there's like lots of them, like it's not just the director of photography and another guy. They need to have their gaffers that need to be professional behind them, then the AD, then production manager. If you have a shooting that involves lots of locations and moving around, you need that for sure, and so on and so forth. Is like I don't know,
Whole team of people.
a very small team. Yeah, I don't even know what would be the minimum number. I would say, I don't know, 16, 17 with the gaffers and everyone would be the minimum amount of numbers. So there's lots of people to pay. So there's lots of money, not consider the locations and the equipment and all that. So in the end, it is really about money. That's why I guess, I don't know, there's lots of kind of despair and stress in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks from the trailers and the clips I've seen, I might be wrong here, but it doesn't, in a way, it doesn't look like a commercial film. It doesn't look like something that's going to maybe be an easy sell. So am I wrong? I might be wrong there. It might be an easy sell, but if it's not, what are your plans for sales and distribution? Are you kind of going to worry about that when you get to it, or have you got an idea of how you're going to pitch it and get people to get eyes on the film?
Yeah, you put the answer out there. So when you do basically everything on your own when it comes to the organization of the project and the production side, you don't know it. So, and you are busy at the moment with the current stage, so you don't have even time to plan for the next stage. So when it comes to distribution, I already saw the rough cut of the film, so I know it's gonna stand on its own, so that's important. Like I don't have to try to think about how I'm gonna sell a fake product in which I don't believe. So it's exactly the film I wanted to make. I'm very proud of it. So I don't really have that problem. Again, I'm not gonna try to finance my next film, so I'm not. I'm not. I don't worry about how much money I'm gonna make. I'm just worried about if the film is gonna be good, which I'm already, at least for myself and for about 10 people who already saw it and gave their reviews. I know it's gonna stand on its own, and it's a real film. It's not somebody who's trying to make a fake film like many people do. It's a real film with real emotion that just stands on its own, and I know it's gonna stand the test of time and all that. So as when it comes to the art side of it, job done. When it comes to distribution, I mean, I do have everything from the more commercial elements like nudity and shock and drama to the more art house one. We have some experimental shots, dream sequences, and all that. So I should have all the elements to get some money out of it. Like people are gonna want to see it. I have the motivation to give them, like to show them the film just looks interesting. Besides that, the cinematography and all the basic stuff looks also good. So yeah, I don't worry too much. I'm just trying to finish it, and then because this is another thing I learned, don't expect help for anyone. If you do a thing on your own, be fully prepared to have to fully finish it on your own, at least to fully finish it, like to have the final cut with all the bells and rings or whatever that saying comes. Because producers are not going to understand your rough cuts. Like I show the rough cuts to some people, and producers come with their editor to also have their opinion, know if we should get involved or not. Like I had some producers considering covering the whole post-production, and they don't understand it. But the editor, because he has a filmmaking brain, producers don't really. They just look at what names you have and what budget you spend on the film. Every time the editor was the one who pushed for the producer to get involved, because they could actually see the potential of the footage if color graded with sound design and all that. So but the producers are like, yeah, hard to get in because I don't have any names, and the budget is decent, but yeah, because I don't have any names, they just don't know how to market it. And so that's one of my things. So be ready to do it all on your own, or take the time to cultivate a community, and you can start crowdfunding. But yeah.
So then I'd say, so it sounds like you've got a lot of faith in the project. You've got a lot of faith in it as a film, and you're hoping that those key elements you've got are going to help you find a good place for it to live and get sales and distributed. Have you thought about film festivals? Is that going to be a big part of your strategy for getting the film out there? And have you got any in mind, or how's that working for you?
I mean, that's how usually, stereotypically, filmmakers imagine that it goes. My problem is that nothing went how I imagine it, so far. So I have like, the teaser, everybody likes the teaser and stuff like that, but it's very hard to get people involved in your own personal project because it's your own. So it's kind of makes sense even. But yeah, I mean, still, obviously, even for vanity reasons, I would like to go to film festivals to just, be in a room with a bunch of people who actually are watching my film and feel their energy and all that. I think it must be an amazing experience. And yeah, but otherwise, we imagine that we go there and our film is gonna, get everybody's gonna applaud our film and stand up, and then this, I don't know, group of producers are gonna come and hunt you and give us your film, and they're gonna be there. I expect that it's not gonna be that way. But yeah, who knows? I mean, that's how we dream as filmmakers, that we're just gonna go to the film festivals and Scorsese is gonna be behind us and he's gonna be oh my god, this is the next director genius, and I'm gonna fund all of his films, and that's how I'm gonna resolve everything. So I just need to get to the film festival. But again, nothing worked how I imagined so far. Most of it worked in a positive way, just different. So we'll see if what effect the film festivals have. Yeah, we'll see soon.
Yeah, I mean, my personal theory on your movie is that it would play well at festivals, and that if you wanted to attract a good art house distributor, it's not going to hurt you getting into maybe a couple of bigger ones. So I'd personally really think carefully about targeting those bigger festivals, rather than, what it's like, you can have a million laurels on your poster from lots of different little ones, doesn't make a difference. If you can get into one of those big ones, I think with the premise you've got, and you've got a bit of intrigue, like you say, you've got that kind of erotic side to it, I think you'd probably do well at those festivals. Talking about that, so it's called Sex Before Church. I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but I'm assuming it involves some intimate scenes. How did you approach shooting those? Have you got any tips for people shooting scenes where people have to be intimate?
Well, that's all about your approach as a director and the relationship you have with the actor, especially if it's a female actor. Yeah, both actors ask for nudity for both actors, and I just think that the whole question is if it's necessary. As long as it's necessary, and that's the script. Like, I don't know, blue is the warmest color, a very famous, infamous, notorious, whatever you want to call it, film that has tons of nudity and sexual scenes with two very young female actors. Yeah, but they just understood that that's the film. That's the basically the main element of the film. So a good actor that's not like just fully commercial and requires everything, just understands that, and yeah, it's just acting for them, naked or clothed. That should be it. So basically it shouldn't make a difference. Now, yeah, I didn't ask for too much. There is a dance scene in which the main actor is fully nude, so that was probably stressful for him. But yeah, didn't. Otherwise, there's no actual sexual simulation and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if I saw the Anora, the Kevin Baker film. They had lots of or no, I think it was just Kevin Baker and his wife were doing the intimate coordination. So yeah, it seems that you don't really need that intimate coordinator, whatever it's called, person. So yeah, to answer your question, we just went about it like normal acting scenes. Yeah, obviously, like you reduce your filming crew, no pictures on set when they're naked, stuff like that, basic stuff like that. Give them as much space and as much privacy as possible. That just should be obvious.
Yeah. And I listened to a couple of clips of you. So you're Romanian, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, was born in Romania.
I made my DOP on the Apocalypse box was Romanian, and he's a good filmmaker. So I imagine you've got good filmmakers over there. So how does being Romanian affect your filmmaking? Do you think culturally? Do you bring anything with you from Romania?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna like to be this anti-nationalist type of person and be like, oh, no effect whatsoever, which yeah, as country and where I was born, I'm like from the very north of Romania. You can basically see Ukraine from where I was born, like it's right on the border. So it's a very different type of Romania. The Nordic one, like, it's closer to the more Germanic type of cultures and Hungarians and all that. So as culture, the country doesn't have an effect of me. Like, I went and studied in UK, and I don't have any Romanian inspirations. I love Romanian film. That's one of the maybe only things I'm proud about of the country. We have some amazing filmmakers, Radu Jude especially lately, some amazing films. Even Scorsese mentioned him. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It looks like we have contemporary right now a very good wave of directors and films. But otherwise, so the answer is no. It doesn't inspire me very much. But I film. If you guys are gonna watch the teaser, you're gonna see at the end some sections with kids and nature and stuff like that. That was actually filmed a year after the first main principal photography in my hometown, and I did use the many cultural elements, like our famous because where I'm from is like a cultural hub in the area. So we have like many traditional, very old houses, like 100-year-old houses. So I used all that, and our traditional costumes. So yeah, I used all that because it just fit the energy of the ending I want to do. So it's not really Romanian. It's just more traditional. Eastern Balkan traditions aspect. So in a way, I want to say no, it didn't affect it, but otherwise, like I literally have it in my film, so it's hard to say an actual categoric no.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll get Andre, my DOP, Romanian DOP, to watch the film when it's finished, and he can tell me if he thinks it oozes Romanian culture, or at least it's had some sort of perspective effect on it. So the last question I ask all my guests is, do you have a motto, or do you have like a mantra or anything that you apply to filmmaking? Something maybe that you say either to yourself or out loud that gets you through it?
Yeah, when I can already, I'll always say it, like, just do what you feel like doing. So if you feel like writing a poem, write a poem. If you feel making a short film, make a short film. If you feel to make, and you think you have the funds necessary to go for a feature film, go for a feature film. So just do what you know that the energy that you can put out there, it's capable of. You know, that, like, the energy that I have was feature film energy. Many times I have these ideas that transform themselves into poems. Some of them transform into other feature film scripts. You know, so just do what you feel like doing, and what you know that you are financially capable of doing. A poem, you don't need anything to do that. A feature film, you need people fight for their whole lives to get somebody or the industry to offer them a budget to make a feature film. So that's it. Which is basically instinct. Trust your instinct. Like, that's in other words, what trying to express here.
I hope that was useful. If you're interested in learning more about micro and low budget film production, I suggest you check out How to Make an Indie Feature for $10,000 with Sean and Taylor King. They've pretty much got their own little production company and studio set up, and make a film every year, get them out there and actually make profit on them. So it's a really interesting chat. See you on the next one.